This is your man, TiVo, the Source, Server Supreme, checking in with you on a Friday evening. Hope you guys are having a good time. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but apparently there was a Spider-Man Sony deal today. We're going to dig deep into those, and we got a Mikey Sutton exclusive. So hang around, boys and girls.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Come on and get some, boys.
That is why they gonna be.
Allow me to pop my collar. Yo, it's been a while since I had the cloak of levitation on. Let me see which one is. This one's down a little. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a little limp cloak thing going on. Shout out to everybody in the live chat, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Shout out to Sith Lord Lee, he was in here since 3 p.m. He was like, he's ready to go. We're ready to rock it. I don't know if you guys heard, but today Sony Disney reached a deal to have Spider-Man back into the fold again. It's been roughly right before D23. This is when this Sony made this announcement that they couldn't work out a deal. Sony went public with it first, and it's been almost 2 months, but it feels like it's been like 2 years since there's been so much news about it. First off, shout out to my man Mikey Sutton, who we've been riding with since day one on this story, who said that, you know, this deal has always been going on. They haven't stopped. Even when Sony said the door was closed, they said temporarily. A couple of sites I won't even name, one that's famous for clickbait, one that's famous for saying Keanu Reeves was going to be in the Eternals movie. Both shot it down, saying, no, the deal is done. It's over. It's over. It's not happening. Well, guess what? It just happened today. So let's go over some of the details of what most of you already know. And I'll go over the details of what Mikey Sutton just reported. And he also gave us an exclusive scoop for all you YouTubenites and long boxers out there. Shout out to everybody. I hope you're having a happy Friday. I hope everybody can hear me okay. Shout out to JLS Comics, Nemesis Prime, holding it down in the live chat. It's the first time on this channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're at 2,000 subscribers now. We're going to do a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. Matter of fact, we're going to give away some KRS Comics exclusives. So probably, you know what? We'll do it on this video. Or no, I'll do the video next Wednesday for our 2,000 subs giveaway. We're going to give away 2 sets of variants for Batman, Superman, and also for the Web of the Black Widow, KRS Comics exclusive variants. If you want any KRS Comics exclusive variants, go to KRSComics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 10% off any KRS Comics exclusives. Also, a longtime sponsor of ours is the GeekySwagShop.com. Go to the GeekySwagShop.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the Geeky Swag Shop. As part of our 2,000 subs giveaway, you're also going to get your choice of any t-shirt in the Geeky Swag Shop. So the winner's going to get this nice set of variants from KRS Comics, and you're also going to get yourself anything from the Geeky Swag Shop, either t-shirt or statue or something. We'll work something out, man. But let's get right to it, boys and girls. So today, Mikey Sutton has been right, and he's been right all along. Here at Lords of the Long Box, we are proud from the very beginning to support my man, my Hopper brother, Mikey Sutton's initial report of the Sony Disney working to complete a new deal for Spider-Man, which was officially announced today. Now, Mikey also revealing that Marvel Studios is working to have Tom Holland appear in Secret Wars. That's right, boys and girls. We dropped that about 3 months ago, that the next end-level game event that Marvel was planning was Secret Wars. Of course, Spider-Man is a major part of Secret Wars. Not only that, but Marvel Studios is planning on having Spider-Man in a supporting role for the Fantastic Four, as Reed Richards can be Peter Parker's new mentor. I like to call him his science buddy, because up till now, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, Tony Stark, has been Peter Parker's kind of science buddy, his science mentor, you might say, even a hero mentor. So that goes back to our spec that Avengers Tower would be turning into Baxter Tower, or the Baxter Building, not the Osborn Tower. Puh, I wonder who said that. Anyway, I'm not naming channels because, anyway, I stick to my man Mikey Sutton, and Mikey Sutton hasn't done us wrong, so we're going to defend Mikey Sutton to day one. But I'm not going to give these other sites the day of time to even say what the name of their websites are, because it's just not worth it. But the deal is only beginning, not the ending. This is a lot of stuff that people don't know. Excuse me. Let me get a drink. Good Lord. Okay. Here we go. Disney and Sony did a short-term contract for now because of the time limitations. They needed to sign John Watts for Spider-Man 3 immediately. And I just read online that John Watts is coming on to do Spider-Man 3. He did the first, he did Homecoming and he did Far From Home. Sources tell Sutton that he was willing to walk away from the next movie if it wasn't set in the MCU. That's a gangster move right there. To pick up where Far From Home left off, the script had to be written as well. So John Watts is going to get on the script. Probably worked with a screenwriter to help develop that. I forgot the screenwriter's name, but the couple being Sony and Disney is scheduling a return to the table to draft a longer range agreement. According to his insiders, Marvel Studio wants Holland to voice Spider-Man in an animated show for Disney Plus. They could do this without Sony's permission, but it might hit a roadblock if Holland's next contract prevented that from happening. Also, they could extend the contract yet, but because Holland would need his upcoming bigger contract with Sony first. Hold on, I'm getting the Mikey Sutton and the Black Knight both hitting up my phone. That's funny. All right, let me finish this. Also, they couldn't extend the contract yet because Holland would need his upcoming bigger contract with Sony first. Remember, he had an option for the third film. So after the third film, he probably wants to renegotiate, kind of like LeBron, right? Doing a 2-year contract with a 3rd-year option, and they can get more money. Since the first 2 films are so successful, why wouldn't he renegotiate his contract to get more money, right? He's big time now. He's doing a lot of movies now. He's in some animated movies as well. Disney sources say both parties have discussed. Here's the big one, boys and girls. Disney sources have said that both parties have discussed Venom appearing in an MCU film. How you like that one, boys and girls? Yes. So sources, both parties said Venom is going to be appearing in an MCU movie outside the Spider-Man universe, possibly in Secret Wars. So that, for all you people who know your comic book lore, know the symbiote and Spider-Man first met up in Secret Wars. Obviously, there's a Venom that already exists in the Sony universe right now, so they'd have to tweak the story a little bit to make it work. The deal may have been signed, but still going to evolve and grow. So there you go. So initial reports have said that before I gave you this Sony news that Mikey Sutton was nice enough to give us a scoop on, the deal right now that the general public is talking about is a one deal for an MCU film and one deal for a Sony film. So basically the third solo Spider-Man movie, which is already scheduled, by the way, for July 2021. That means there's 4 films on the slate for July or for 2021. Shang-Chi, Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man, and somebody help me. I just had a total brain fart. Sorry, man. I just got off from work doing the coca levitation and I got right up on here, man. So 2021 is going to be a busy year for Marvel. I mean, they just signed this deal and they already put it on the calendar. So you're getting at a July 2021 release date for Spider-Man, whatever it's going to be called. We don't know. Spider-Man Almost Lost from Home. So we got Shang-Chi February 12th, 2021. Doctor Strange 2, May 7th, 2021. Spider-Man 3 is already slotted for July 16th, 2021. And Thor Love and Thunder 2021. Holy cow. I always say each year is going to be the biggest year for superhero films. 2021 sounds like it. Multiverse of Madness. Thank you, JLS Comics. So there's where we're at right now, boys and girls. So I reached out to my sources and asked, because I know you guys are going to ask this, because I know you guys are smart. Hey, what about Amazon and Apple? Well, I heard that doesn't change anything. Quite frankly, all this deal does is allow Sony and Marvel to work together, and it really doesn't affect anything. Because remember, if Apple or Amazon were to buy Sony Pictures, not Sony Electronics, right? Sony Electronics is huge. They don't want that. If they were to buy Sony Pictures, Marvel would get the rights anyway, so nothing would change. So this only affects the bottom dollar for the agreement with Sony and Marvel. So breaking news, The Rock just tweeted, "Fuck yes" to the new Sony's Disney deal. Oh, good Lord. So stick with us, boys and girls. Hold on. Breaking news. Hold on. I got something. Breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
That never gets old for me. If I could find the graphic, I would drop the graphic. I just got an update from the Black Knight right now. Who knows we're going live? The Rock is meeting with Kevin Feige again about Namor, and it's getting serious. This was the first scoop on our channel from the Black Knight. 4 months ago, we said that The Rock was in talks with Marvel to play Namor. We're hearing that that meeting is happening again. The Rock is a super busy dude. So every time this meeting has happened, it's been pushed back, the film scheduling, but we're hearing that he's meeting again. For longtime subscribers of this channel, you guys know about 4 or 5 months ago on our first Black Knight report, I talked about Kevin Feige and The Rock were meeting, and Namor was the character being discussed for The Rock. That would be absolute box office. So shout out to Mikey Sutton, who's actually made an appearance in the live chat. What's up, Mikey? Thank you, Mikey. And I just want to give a voice of support to my man, Mikey Sutton, who's been attacked by online outlets for no reason at all, simply because they do this for a living and they couldn't get any more information than Mikey did. But Mikey's a great cat. He's also another Hopper brother like I am. So that's where we're at, boys. And let me sum it up, if I can, succinctly here. New Sony Marvel deal. It's a short-term contract, but they are coming back to the table. John Watts is signed on to do Spider-Man 3, a release date of July 2021. Disney and Sony are scheduled to come back to the negotiating table to work out a long-range deal. The Marvel studio wants Holland to voice Spider-Man in an animated show for Disney Plus. They also want to bring Venom into the MCU, not in a Venom solo film, but possibly a Secret Wars movie. Also, Marvel wants Spider-Man to be in their Secret Wars film, which we broke that scoop about 4 months ago, that the next Endgame level event was going to be Secret Wars. It all lines up now. Also, to our spec that She-Hulk was going to be Peter Parker's attorney in Spider-Man 3. All those things are back on the table. And I asked my sources about the Sony or Amazon and Netflix deal. Shout out to $3 Theater, who was in the live chat. Who let me see if I can find his comment. He just dropped something. If I could find it here, where are you, $3 Theater? I just saw your post. Let me share that with you. There you go. Apple announced today a partnership with A24 as a distributor. So no Sony purchase yet. So that's interesting. So we know that Apple and both Amazon were interested in it. I don't know how this deal will affect that, but going forward, if Amazon and Apple were to make a deal or make a purchase of Sony Pictures, it wouldn't affect Marvel at all. Matter of fact, Marvel would get back the rights. I don't know how it would affect the financials. It's way too early to tell, but I'll see if I can find out for you guys. Shout out to $3 Theater. If you haven't, done some great content over on YouTube. Give him a sub up, and hopefully he subs us up. And we just hit our 2,000th followers for the second time. Last time we were at 5,000 subscribers before we got the channel taken down. So we're starting from all over again. So that's it, boys and girls. So the main big news of this is Sony and Marvel are working on more than just 2 pictures that have been reported. Marvel wants Spider-Man in Secret Wars, which is only obvious. Kevin Feige likes the original source material of the comics, so Spider-Man was an integral part of Secret Wars. Also, Venom is going to be in the MCU in one of the films, not a solo film. Remember, Sony is still doing the Venom solo films. And also, the big one also that I'm super excited about is they want to use Spider-Man for the Fantastic Four film, with Reed Richards being his, how do you say this, his kind of science mentor, since Tony Stark is no longer there. Anything about variety? King Nick, that's an interesting article that I read about that, and it sounds much like speculation. So I don't know, to be honest with you. There was an article today, and I have a tendency not to believe it because there's a lot of stuff that's still happening on the Hulu side of things. I don't think that they've lost that much faith in Jeff Loeb. So hold on a second. All right, I had to get my slides back on. Goomba213, nothing about who is going to play Reed Richards yet. The last I heard, it was going to be what's his name, Krasinski. Emily Blunt's husband, because they want Emily Blunt for, and that would be actually the dream casting, right? If you think about it. So I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. There's about 182 people in the live chat. If you really want me to answer your question, just leave a super chat. It's easy for me to find. I'm not asking for $20. Just leave, I don't care, $1 so I can see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make money off of this. So if you have any questions for me or Mikey Sutton, feel free to post it. I got a few more minutes on here. Make sure you guys check out the 3 Men in the Basement. They got a live comic book auction tonight. Go in there and get some good deals. Your man, the Sorcerer Supreme, I may be over there selling some comics as well. You never know. It's always a good time. So check out 3 Men in the Basement. Let me just pull up the live chat and see if there's anything I can rock with you for another 5-10 minutes. Will the Venom in the MCU be a different Venom or Tom Hardy's Venom? My guess it would be Tom Hardy, because you don't get rid of Tom Hardy. That's a great actor. So I would think they would do well to keep him. So far, nothing that says anything different. You don't replace Tom Hardy. He's a great actor, and I'm pretty sure Tom Hardy would love to reprise his role as Venom in the MCU. Anybody would like to be. Hell, well, I mean, we just brought that. Okay, so let me go full circle here. This is breaking news. Let me do my thing. So, this has happened while we're on air. This is coming from my...
Ladies and gentlemen, could I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
That's right, boys and girls. The Rock just tweeted, "Fuck yes" to the new Sony-Disney deal. The Black Knight is telling me The Rock is meeting with Kevin Feige again. He's been meeting with him off and on throughout the summer. He's a busy man, but The Rock is meeting Kevin Feige to play the role of Namor, the Submariner. It fits in perfectly, guys. Fantastic Four, Namor, everything. Sue Richards. I mean, the last time I asked the Black Knight, he said casting for the Fantastic Four would probably be announced in 2020. So with that, we got the Phase 4 release in 2021, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, they haven't had a title yet, Spider-Man 3, and Thor Ragnarok. So we're talking 2021, 2023, if that. So also the big news of they want to use Spider-Man in Secret Wars. So that goes to our scoop that we did about 4 months ago, that Secret Wars is going to be the next big giant end game level event that they're going to do. So, but when I say the next end level game event, that could happen 8 years, 9 years, 10 years down the road, because that's how long it took for the first 3 phases to happen. And in between that time, God, I'm trying to redoing all the scoops that we've been doing here the last few months. In between Secret Wars and the next first film, you're going to get the Annihilation Wave. You're going to introduce Galactus, Doctor Doom, and all those characters. Secret Wars being the next end game level event. Any thoughts on the Spider-Verse with Toby and Andrew return? I really don't know what's going to happen with that schedule that Sony released yesterday, but it was I jokingly tweeted on and it got 20 retweets. I may delete the tweet that the social media reaction to Madam Web was so bad that Sony signed a deal with Marvel, which is hilarious. Hey, shout out to the contender Imperious Rex. Yes, did I say sex? Imperious Rex. Yes, that's Namor's battle call. So I jokingly said the Madam Web information that came out yesterday, that it got such bad press on social media that Sony just said, we give up. We're going to go deal a deal with you. But like we've been saying since the day after the news broke, Sony and Disney were still trying to work things out. What's interesting about this whole thing is Sony was the first one to come out public with it. We may have never even knew this was going to happen, because if you think about it, it's only been almost 2 months since this happened. If all sides would have kept quiet, we'd have went about our day and not said anything at all. We would have all of a sudden had a Spider-Man 3 movie release date, and that would have been it. But, instead, and I guess I'm part of it, being part of social media, that, we have to, but I do this on a, as a news comes basis, but there's a lot of sites out there that do 3-4 different articles a day, sometimes tweet clickbait or tweets or whatever. And so a lot of times we are a instant news 24-hour a day kind of news cycle. I'm not part of the news, since I have a website, but I don't update it daily. I come on here once a week. So there was a couple of viewers that said, why we drop scoops every day. No, we don't. I gather information throughout the week and we drop it once a week. If there's major news like this, then I'll come in and do something really quick like that. For the most part, we're a weekly show, and we combine all of our stuff and spread it out. So it's not like we're just making stuff up once a week or once a day. Yeah, so on that list there was some interesting ones: Craven, Sinister Six, but Madam Web. I mean, Madam Web never even had a solo comic book series. I don't know how you would make a movie out of that. Also, Silver Sable and Black Cat were also the longest rumored Sony projects, and that list came from a website called Twitter account from fandom.com. So let's look at some other questions. If you guys have any other questions, the other big news that we just dropped was that The Rock is back in talks with Kevin Feige to play Namor the Submariner, which hopefully that happens, man. The only other thing that we scooped that didn't happen yet, that I was kind of somewhat depressed about, was that Donnie Yen was initially in talks to play the Mandarin for Shang-Chi, but I found out Tony Leung was beat him out for the part, and I have no problems with that. Tony Leung is a much better actor than Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen can kick ass, but Tony Leung is an Oscar caliber worthy actor. If you don't want to go look up a movie called Chungking Express by the great Wong Kar-wai. Fantastic Hong Kong movie done by one of the greatest probably directors of our generation. You just never heard of him because he does most of his movies back in Hong Kong. Any rumors for The Thing and the Human Torch? No, not yet. Shout out to my man Tony Sanders for the super chat. I appreciate it, brother. Go check out Tony Sanders' live channel if you can. Yeah, I'm trying to look fly, Tony. You know, I got the Coco Levitation because I'm the Sorcerer Supreme today. Once again, shout out to Mikey Sutton. Go check out Mikey Sutton on Facebook under the group page called Geekosity. Geekosity was where Mikey Sutton drops his scoops. He dropped the first half of this group and came over here and we gave you the second half, which was the Venom juiciness. We've been talking about this kind of Venom thing for a while now, what Marvel's plans were initially. So all the stuff that you guys saw from us prior to D23, just put it right back on track, because I think, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny that it's only been about 2 months, but it feels like it's been 2 years worth of information that we've been dealing with, man. We did, Dan the Man, we did speculate that Hercules was being planned for the MCU. Not quite sure. I believe it was going to be in Thor that they were going to introduce Hercules. Are Sony pictures going to be sold? Maybe. When I reached out to my sources to find out because if this news affects the potential sale of Sony pictures to Amazon or Apple, they said no. But it's up to Sony if they want to sell at this point. And to be honest with you, it's up to the Sony CEO. We're talking Sony Electronics, right? The Japanese company that owns Sony Pictures in Colombia. And I think it's Colombia / Sony Pictures, as far as I know. If they want to sell that off, because the CEO of Sony is a financial guy. He comes from a financial background. So if he doesn't see certain margins and profit, then he doesn't deem it as worthy, right? Think of Sony Xboxes, Sony TVs, all that stuff. They got a high profit margin, right? Well, now think about movies. Costs $100 million to make it. Marketing another $150 million. If you don't triple your investment, then it may be seen as a loss. So I never take that away from them. No, I didn't, Mikey. I did. So Marvel also wants to use Tom Holland to voice an animated version of Spider-Man for Disney Plus. So since there's about 190, 200 people in here, I'm just going to go and read the scoop over again so you guys don't have to rewind. So let's start it off from scratch. Here we go. Disney is working to complete a new deal for Spider-Man, which was officially announced today. Now, Sutton, Mikey, since he's in there, I feel weird referring to him as. Anyway, our man Mikey Sutton is revealing that Marvel Studios is seeking to have Tom Holland appear in Secret Wars. That's the next Endgame level event for Marvel. Whether this is the non-Spidey MCU film, an agreement signed by both parties last night, remains to be seen. There's no doubt by anyone on the Marvel side that Spider-Man will be in Secret Wars. So that's a given. Either they're saying, okay, that MCU film, we wanted to speak of Wars, or it's part of the extended deal. Not only that, but Marvel Studios is planning to have Spider-Man in a supporting role for the Fantastic Four as Reed Richards can be Peter Parker's new mentor, side of his science buddy that Tony Stark was, if you remember, kind of, can help him with the hero side. But I think there's enough heroes to help him with the hero side, but he needs somebody smarter than him. There's not many people right now. Maybe Bruce Banner, maybe the Hulk, but we know where the Hulk is going, so he may not be that smart anymore. But the deal is only beginning, not the ending. Disney and Sony did a short-term contract for now because of time limitations. They needed to sign John Watts for Spider-Man 3 immediately, and sources tell Mikey that he was willing to walk away if the next movie wasn't set in the MCU to pick up where Far From Home left off. The script had to be written as well, so we're still waiting for a script for Spider-Man 3. We initially heard that was going to be part of the J. Jonah Jameson thing. If you've been on the J. Jonah website, they're starting to do some marketing for that. And we had reported about 2 months ago that She-Hulk was going to be his lawyer, Peter Parker's lawyer, most probably Jennifer Walters. And then we now know there's going to be a She-Hulk series on Disney Plus, but she was also going to appear in Spider-Man to some capacity as his lawyer, because guess what? She's the only lawyer in the MCU now. They still got to wait a little bit to use Daredevil as a lawyer. Okay, so both Disney and Sony are scheduling a return to the negotiating table to draft a longer range agreement. According to insiders, Marvel Studio wants Holland to voice Spider-Man in an animated show over Disney Plus. They could do this without Sony's permission, but might hit a roadblock if Tom Holland's next contract prevented that from happening. Also, they couldn't extend the contract yet because Holland would need to have an upcoming bigger contract with Sony first. Remember, he's got a 2-picture deal with an option for a third. Disney sources say both parties have discussed Venom appearing in the MCU. That's the biggie. Outside of the Spider-Verse. So Ron, when we say that, we mean it's not a Sony Pictures movie where they only have their Sony characters like the first Venom film. So outside the Spider-Verse, possibly Secret Wars again, which ties in perfectly with the symbiote and Spider-Man and Secret Wars #8. You all know how that goes. That comic maxi series, 12-issue maxi series from the 80s. Mike Zeck and all those great Jim Shooter. I forgot all the people. You can still get 4 signatures in that book, by the way. The deal may have been signed, but it's still going to evolve and grow. So it's sounds like both sides have gotten the better, they've gotten their heads together and realized that even a short-term agreement is better than nothing. I haven't looked at the stock prices yet, but I can imagine that the Sony stock price has gone up after this. All right. Dana Lee, any front runners to play Jennifer Walters? No, not yet. And I don't think looking for big buff actresses named Ronda Rousey is the route to go either, because my guess is She-Hulk is going to be CGI. It would be, I don't know where you're going to find a 6'4" buff woman to play an actor or a character. Nothing on Keanu Reeves yet. Anything in regards to the Netflix care being integrated into the films such as Secret Wars? Yes. Secret Wars was going to involve everybody and anything. So we're talking Disney Plus, Hulu, FX, whatever. They were all going to be part of Secret Wars in one way or another. If you think about comic book miniseries or maxi series or crossover events, they have little tie-ins. Think of that's what Marvel wants to do with their films. Like a little one-off film can be a tie-in to the larger Secret Wars story. Any Ghost Rider MCU news? Oscar, that rumor I cannot confirm nor deny. I just haven't heard anything about it. So there you go. Mikey Sutton has no Ghost Rider movies planned. So what we reported yesterday about the Ghost Rider show being canceled had nothing to do with Kevin Feige and the MCU. That was strictly a creative differences between Hulu and Marvel TV. Mainly what we're hearing, and Mikey Sutton was able to corroborate this, was that the Ghost Rider series was going to be too CG heavy and therefore not cost effective for Hulu to do it. And we also talked about it Wednesday. Jeez, it's already Friday. That Ghost Rider and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for those 2 seasons were some of the most expensive episodes ever run by ABC because of all the CGI heavy effects that it took for Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider character. It was a great character, one of the favorites of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and you always wondered, why didn't they bring him back? Well, it's because it was just too expensive, but he was a fan favorite. He still is. Diego Luna is killing it on Terminator now. Eddie, we had reported Henry Cavill was up for a role, but now that he's doing The Witcher on Netflix, that may have blocked him from being able to do it, but you never know. As soon as I find out anything, you'll find out something. Anything about an Invader show on Disney Plus? No, but it can happen. If The Rock signs on as Namor, you got all the ingredients there. We actually expect that there was going to be a version of the Hammond version of the Human Torch coming to Disney Plus as one of the characters, or maybe even What If, but for sure in Disney Plus. So Jim Hammond is the original human android version of the Human Torch that was part of the Avengers. The Invaders, kind of like Toro and the rest of those characters. Taron Egerton in the MCU, not that I heard of. Every time you see an article, this actor wants to be in there. Hell, I want to be in an MCU movie. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. From what I'm hearing on the DC side, Henry Cavill is kind of been pushed back for Superman, and it's not his fault. Right now, Warner Brothers doesn't know what they want to do with Superman. A matter of fact, they're going the route of Supergirl before they come out with Superman. So I don't know about the J.J. Abrams thing. From what I understand, he's doing his own thing. He hasn't done anything or said anything that he wants to take over the DC Extended Universe. From what I know, this DC Extended Universe is probably gone. You're going to have pretty much standalone films with Aquaman and Wonder Woman being really the only ones tied to each other. The Batman, Matt Reeves, is going to be similar to the Nolanverse films, where they are self-contained Batman in his own Gotham world, his own series. So think of it as just another alternate reality. The only person who's really bringing all the DC stuff together is Greg Berlanti with Crisis of Infinite Earths. If you haven't seen Brandon Roth today, they showed a Kingdom Come version of Superman, which looks pretty cool. And that's about it. Let me check. So I thank you guys for joining me. Short notice, but that's what we got. I just wanted to come in. My phone's been blowing up all day. Mikey Sutton absolutely killed it. He proved a bunch of naysayers wrong, which I'm not even going to name anymore because they got their own, because Mikey's friends blew them up on Twitter and to the point where they got blocked. But Mikey Sutton has always remained calm and said, hey, man, Disney and Sony are still talking. Right now it's at a stalemate, and guess what? Things are always subject to change, and they did. And it was 2 months. It's kind of crazy how things like this happens, man. So remember, sub up and like this. If you sub up, we just hit 2,000 subs. We're gonna be doing a giveaway on next Wednesday's show. We're gonna give away some Kairos Comics variants, which are I'm gonna show right here. We're going to give away 2 sets of Batman Superman and also that gorgeous web of the Black Widow KRS Comics exclusive variants. You could only get those on KRSComics.com, and we're going to give away a set of those and also give away something from the KikiSwagShop.com to thank you for subscribing and supporting the channel for 2,000 subscribers. And we're going and going and growing. So next Wednesday, we'll announce the official giveaway and the rules of it. But so far, these are the prizes. So thank you, Mikey, for joining the live chat. They don't know how to do shared uni. Okay. Mikey's just answering a bunch of questions. I might as well just keep talking, let you guys ask Mikey some questions. You know what I mean? Yeah. Berlanti is killing it on the TV side, but really their DC Warner Brothers proper is kind of doing their own thing. And if you think about it, Berlanti has a much kind of wider palette to play with. He can really throw anything at the wall in the CW, Arrowverse, Flashverse, whatever it's called. Know that CW has 2 shows that are missing that gives it a 2-hour time slot. It's Supernatural's going away and Arrow's going away. So there's a lot of room there for CW to put in. Also the stuff on DC Universe and also the stuff on HBO Go. We heard that DC Universe may be going away and everything will be encapsulated into DC HBO Max. I always say HBO Go because that's what I have. But HBO Max, whatever the damn Warner Brothers streaming service is, that's where everything what they want to go. Why don't yeah, that's a good question, King Nick. They separate their TV and films and they have it for a long time. Even though the Arrowverse or the CW version of Flash is arguably everybody's favorite, and they still got another actor to play the Flash on the movies, Ezra Miller. Same with Cyborg. You got a version of Cyborg that's on the Doom Patrol and another version that was on the big screen that they were going to make a movie about. But so that's where it is right now, man. Good question, Mikey. Are the Namor rights clear? Yes, they are. Marvel out owns the rights outright. And if you want, Google Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada actually let it out of the bag like 2 years ago that Marvel has the rights to Namor the Submariner back. So there you go. Yeah, Mikey just chimed what I just said. So if you Google it, Joe Quesada was asked about it, and he said that that Marvel owns the rights to Namor back again. So really, the only one they don't have is the Hulk, which they can still use. They just can't make a solo film starring the Hulk. Yes, TiVo, you need to do more shows every week. You're the best source of news out there. Thanks for the scoop, sir. I try, man. You know, but like me, Darkside Jedi, Nemesis Prime, and Otto from the Grotto, we all have 9-to-5 jobs, so we try to come on here whenever we can. Thanks to Mikey Sutton, whenever he gives us information, we try to disseminate it. Like information like this today, I will go live. If the Black Knight gives me a scoop that's, you know, that I need to go live with because it's, you know, I hate to say it, we need to be first, but I don't say we need to be first, but we also need to be accurate. A lot of times people just have a tendency to click send without checking. So A lot of nothing on the Silver Surfer so far, Matt Forge, and I couldn't find any truth to the rumors about a Silver Surfer solo film. Trust me, I'm the biggest Silver Surfer fan out there, and if there was any truth to that rumor, I would have screamed it from the top of my lungs, but just not right now. As far as I know, last I'd heard, Silver Surfer and Galactus are a package deal, so I don't think there's enough there for a Silver Surfer solo film, but he will be in as the first Herald of Galactus when Galactus comes in the FF. That's right. I am going to be invading Emerald City Comic Con in March. I'm heading up there with a motley crew of group guys, and we're going to hang out with Mikey Sutton, my man. I'm trying to get my man Swolverine, maybe King of the Golden State. We're going to invade. You'll see us. We'll be the guys drunk wearing the Lords of the Long Box t-shirt. Speaking of which, you can get a Lords of the Long Box t-shirt at thegeekyswagshop.com. If you use discount code LOTLB, that's $20 shipped for a Lords of the Long Box shirt. They're great guys over there. Point Break Silver Surfer. I heard that Marvel wanted Keanu Reeves to play the Silver Surfer. The three roles that I heard that that were connected to Keanu Reeves were Silver Surfer, Warlock, and who was the other one? I think it was Wolverine. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But last I heard, the role of Wolverine was open for Hugh Jackman if he ever wanted it. In other words, they're saying, hey, if you still want it, it's there for you. Because remember, Hugh Jackman said, I would come back as Wolverine if I could be in an Avengers movie. Just saying. I think so too. I think Keanu Reeves has that kind of, he can play deadpan and be, because Silver Surfer is very stoic, right? He doesn't show a lot of emotion, right? So I can see Keanu Reeves doing that. I think that, because if you think about John Wick is kind of emotionless, right? He just kills people, but he's not like angry about it. No, it wouldn't be Tom Hardy as Venom. He's wouldn't be Tom Hardy as Wolverine. Okay, let me highlight questions here. Jeez, didn't I tell you guys to leave a super chat if you guys want to answer your questions, because they're coming back very, very quickly. Yeah, so we actually said that on we had a scoop about the Wolverine and Hulk movie, and the question came up, who was going to play Wolverine? And this is way back when. Hugh Jackman has not come out and publicly said he is done playing Wolverine once Disney bought Fox. He once said he would come back if he could be in the Avengers. So he's getting kind of old, so I don't know if it'll happen. But I think if Hugh Jackman is like Mahershala Ali, if he calls up Disney or Kevin Feige and says, I want to be in a movie, I don't see Marvel or Disney saying no to Hugh Jackman. Just like The Rock called up Kevin Feige and said he wants to play Namor, of course they're going to say yes. Mahershala Ali has 2 Oscars. He called up and said he wanted to play Blade, and they said, okay, we'll throw you in there. Yes, this is a great day. I was glad I was to join you guys. We're amongst friends, collectors, and happy. And mainly I wanted to come on here and give my friend Mikey Sutton support for helping us with scoops about this whole Sony Marvel deal from day one. Even all the naysayers came on our channel, came on Twitter, came on Mikey's Facebook and said stuff he had to block. So we're just here to support Mikey, that Mikey was right all along. And we just said, just chill, everybody. It's just a matter of time. I mean, I can honestly say I'm kind of relieved, because I know Mikey gets it on a daily basis that that he's questioned on a daily basis on who is going to play or what's going on with the Sony Marvel deal. Sorry, Jesus. There you go. Mikey Sutton has just made it official. Silver Surfer movie hasn't been greenlit. So what they're going off is an old rumor where I believe it was Adam McKay said he would do a Silver Surfer movie, and that's what they're basing this clickbait stuff on. So I am a huge Silver Surfer fan, but even I think he doesn't have enough to have his own solo movie, right? I just don't see how that happened. I think as a herald, he's great, and they can do side stories about him being outcast and banned to Earth. If you remember, part of his whole thing was he saved his planet Zenla. Funny joke is, what did Norrin Rad say to what was the last thing Norrin Rad said to his planet? Tata Zenla. Anyway, that's in a What If comic, by the way. So that whole storyline, he gave up himself to become the Surfer so that his planet would be saved from Galactus. So, and then Silver Surfer betrayed Galactus when back in FF48 and 49, and Galactus basically banned the Silver Surfer to planet Earth. He couldn't leave the planet Earth. And later on in the second series or so, I want to think, or in the FF comics, he eventually finally gets out of Earth's orbit and is able to leave the planet. And that's when you see all the cosmic stories, the Infinity Gauntlet storylines, and everything. Who gets cast first, Jennifer, Kamala, or Mark? I'm going to guess Kamala Khan. I think that one's easy, and I think that one makes the most noise because it's a minority girl of a Muslim. I think that would make the most. That would move the needle most if they're hiring a Muslim actress to play the young Kamala Khan for the Miss Marvel Disney Plus series. I think that's where they would do it first. I could be wrong. What do I know? It was a while before Dr. Doom Solo and the FF Kids projects were being tossed around. Yeah, there's that whole Power Pack movie or Future Foundation that they want to do. I know there's Power Pack moving for it. If that involves the Richards kids or not, I don't know at this point. Right now, the Future Foundation is an iteration of that. But right now with the Hickman run, what they're doing with if you didn't read the Hickman run, he just announced Galactus said that Franklin Richards is the most powerful mutant ever, which is pretty interesting. Go out and read Hickman. Read it twice because that's how long it takes. All right, I want to talk about this one right here. Let me put this up so we can debunk this once and for all. No, and no. For any chances for Osborn and Dark Reign in the MCU. We've long said that Norman Osborn will never be the big baddie in an MCU film. And I think this entire episode that we've just gone through with Sony and Disney really cements that, because if Kevin Feige makes Norman Osborn a major player in the MCU and then Sony pulls the rug out from under him, or they have a breakup, whatever side you decide, whatever parent you decide, your dad or your mom, if the deal works out and they pull the rug from under him, this time they only had to worry about Spider-Man. But imagine bringing in Osborn and some other characters, and then, plus I don't see it happening. I just don't see you going from Ultron to Thanos to Norman Osborn as a big baddie. In Spider-Man's world, yeah, I can see him being a baddie. Yeah, so Mikey Sutton and I are in full agreement on this. Kevin Feige does not make villain-led movies. Even the Thunderbolts property would be led by heroes. The Dark Avengers are just straight on villains. There's no good side to them. If they were to do anything about the Dark Avengers, they would be a villain in the movie. It would be seen through the hero's eyes, not through the villain's eyes. It wouldn't be told in the villain's perspective. It would be told from the hero's perspective. That's the way I like it. Yeah, I think I feel like Norman would be a major bad once Marvel gets the right. I don't see how Norman Osborn can be a major baddie when Ant-Man can kick his ass. I just don't see it. I'm sorry, but in Spider-Man's world, yes. Okay, let's think of a bigger playground. Once Marvel bought Disney bought Fox, and you have this great group of villains to choose from. Why did we insist on going back to Norman Osborn? That's in Spider-Man's world. Norman Osborn is the Red Goblin, all that stuff. That's in Spider-Man's world. That's not in the world of the Avengers fighting Norman Osborn. So, I understand people dig Norman Osborn. I dig him too. He's a great foil, part of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, but not in the MCU cosmic world that we are soon to be inhabiting, that Norman Osborn would make that much of a difference. I think the Green Goblin is great. In Spider-Man's world, I think he's great. Spider-Man has a great Rogues Gallery. Let's flip the script here. In Batman's Rogues Gallery, if you were to take the Joker up against the Justice League, what would you have? Nothing. It would be a destruction of the Joker by anybody. So that's what I'm getting at. He's a great villain, one of the greatest villains in Spider-Man's world. Not so much the Marvel universe, but who knows? Maybe in the future. So I never say never, because things are always subject to change. But I think this really cements that using a character or villain that Kevin Feige doesn't have 100% control of to be the big baddie of anything, I think is he would have to have some major assurances to make that happen. And there's so many stories to tell. Is there really a reason for Dark Reign or Dark Avengers? We already scooped on Wednesday that in Captain Marvel 2, Nova was going to be debuting in that. along with the Queen of the Skrulls, and they're going to do their version of the Skrull Secret Invasion. So we already got that coming, and then Norman Osborn can sit on the side of that for a while, and that's what I'm going to say. No news on Kang. I wish there was news. I'm not the guy that has first appearances of comics and I just make up news because I want my comic to blow up, because I have the Kang's first appearance, but nothing's happening. I think Kang has a great chance, especially, in time travel and everything. Kang the Conqueror would be great. This is a good question. I see Secret Invasion as an Avengers event. Why are they doing it for Captain Marvel? Because Captain Marvel already introduced the Skrulls. So, you guys have to realize, Kevin Feige takes things that are already in control of in the MCU and adapts from that, right? Okay. If you think about Thor Ragnarok, what was that really? It was a Planet Hulk movie, but they called it Thor Ragnarok. So, Secret Invasion, Skrull Invasion, the Kree Skrull War, all that can be tied up in Captain Marvel because she has ties to all of them. She has ties to the Kree and the Skrulls now. So that's the way I would go with it. All right, guys, I'm going to leave now. So it's been great. Thank you to Mikey Sutton once again to summarize the call. The call. I think I'm back at work on one of my conference calls again. All right, Sony and Disney are back together. Let me take off this comment here. All right, this is the last time, man. Pay attention, boys and girls. Okay, so Marvel Studios is seeking Tom Holland to appear in Secret Wars. Whether this is a non-Spidey MCU film or the agreement signed by both parties last night remains to be seen. There's no doubt by anyone on Marvel's side that Spider-Man will be in Secret Wars. Not only that, but Marvel Studios is planning on having Spider-Man in a supporting role for the Fantastic Four, as Reed Richards can be Peter Parker's new science mentor. But the deal is only beginning, not the ending. Disney and Sony have a short-term contract for now because of time limitations. They need to sign John Watts for Spider-Man 3 immediately. And they just released Spider-Man 3 is coming out in July 2021. Sources tell our friend Mikey Sutton that he was willing to walk away for the next movie if it wasn't set in the MCU to pick up where Far From Home left off. The script had to be written as well. The next big scoop on here is that they want Tom Holland to voice a Spider-Man character for Disney Plus. Also hearing that they want to bring in Venom to the MCU. That's a big one, boys and girls. So Disney sources say both parties have discussed Venom appearing in the MCU movie outside of the Spider-Verse, meaning outside of the Sony films, possibly Secret Wars. It makes perfect sense. Venom and the symbiote and Peter Parker obviously have a connection from Secret Wars number 8. The deal may have been signed, but it's still going to evolve and grow. The Marvel, Disney, and Sony are scheduling to return to the negotiation table to draft a longer range agreement. So there you go, man. We're at a lot. That's a lot of news. So whatever you read today, that's just the tip of the cobweb, man. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Shout out to my man, Mikey Sutton, who was able to give us his juicy exclusive. So to top it off, Spider-Man's signing on for not just 2 films, they're working on a longer agreement. They want to bring Venom into the MCU. I think I froze. Hang in there, boys and girls. Fuck. All right. I thought I froze, man. My internet is acting up. All right, good. Jeez, I'm tripping. All right. Hey, thank you guys for watching the show. Make sure you sub up. We're at 2,000 subs. We're going to do a giveaway next Wednesday. Make sure you peep out 3 Men in the Basement tonight. They got a live auction going on. Some great comic books. I may be on there. But till next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Shake and bake and pull it back.